To take this off, we remove the 440 Allen heads and the one cable with the dual header on the left hand side. After removing the gain cell control board, we then disconnect the ground wires and remove the power switch. We don't have to remove the entire power switch, just disconnect it. First we take the ground wire off here, set the wire out of the way, then we take this ground wire off here. We just move that wire out of the way. Then remove the power switch with a single screw right here. Move it out of the way like that. Tip the entire unit up and remove these 4 screws which hold in the power transformer. An item of note is that these screws are difficult to take off because the retainers have crimps in the threads so that these screws cannot vibrate loose. That is one of the characteristics of the PEM nut that I chose. After the 4 screws are removed, remove the chassis back down and disconnect the 2 large power connectors from the output of the power transformer. Lift it out of the chassis, reach in and unplug the primary of the transformer. The next step involves removing this screw right here, which attaches to the heatsink. Once that's complete, we tip the unit up on its side and remove this foot, 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 and this foot. These feet all have shoulder washers on them. Retain the shoulder washers, it's essential. Let me give you a close-up of a foot and shoulder washer. There's the shoulder washer with the screw going through the rubber foot. Please note here the standoff goes through the center of that hole and has another shoulder washer on the other side. This shoulder washer fits just over the standoff and the hole. The rubber then fits against that. What that does is completely isolate the motherboard from the metal, while at the same time holding it securely and establishing a low frequency resonance well below audibility. Once the feet have been removed, we return the chassis back down. Now we're just going to lift out the motherboard. Before we lift out the motherboard, remove the PCM CIA card. I just put everything in a container like that. Lift up the board and then grasp the header on the edges. Remove the board. What we're going to do is we're changing the input trim because it was broken by someone trying to work on this. Now we're just going to lift out the motherboard by lifting up the front. And when we lift it up, the entire board comes loose, and at the same time, we move it back just a little.